I'm starting to sell off my Splinterlands cards, and today I'm going to talk about reasons you might want to consider doing the same thing, so stay tuned. Hello everyone, my name is Luke and this is my Play to Earn channel where you guys join along in my Play to Earn journey. And today we're going to do another Splinterlands videos. I know we've been doing a lot, but they've been getting a lot of love and support, and this is one of the top NFT games out there right now. And today we're talking about selling your cards. So if you look, I have a lot more DEC than I have in previous videos. If you go to Peak Monsters, I am selling off cards. Now I'm going to do a little clickbait title on YouTube. I'm not actually selling all of my cards, but hey, you know, YouTube likes a little clickbait to, you know, get those more views. And I'm sorry, I gotta do it. So I'm sorry, but I still think this information is going to be important. This is real content, and I am indeed selling off a lot of my higher valued cards, and I want to talk about why. So one of the things we talked about in the last video when talking about the Chaos Legion pre-release is that you're going to need SPS staked to earn vouchers to buy these pre-sale packs. So right now, staking SPS is really important. So I've been thinking about, instead of just trying to buy SPS on the secondary market, how can I earn more SPS? And right now, of course, if you didn't know this, you get SPS when you do certain things by getting airdrop points, okay? And my mistake in this game is not reading the SPS white paper. You know, I feel like I've made a rookie mistake and I just kind of glanced over. I saw the news about it. I decided, oh, I'm just earning points and whatever. I'll just keep claiming my SPS and staking my SPS, not realizing how much more SPS I could be earning in these airdrop points. So you can click on the white paper if you have time, just read the whole thing yourself. But today I'm specifically going to be talking about airdrop. How do we get more SPS from airdrops? Well, what I didn't look at, which I should have just looked at, is a simple mistake by me, but hopefully I can help you guys avoid this, is to look at what is going to earn us a bunch of airdrop points. Well, for new players, we're not going to be, you know, ones holding all these old packs that, you know, old players have just bought up and are sitting on or selling on secondary markets. We're probably not going to go do that. None of us are going to be holding land. So that really leaves us with card power and DEC tokens. So when I looked at this table, I saw, okay, owned cards, for each collection power your cards are worth, not that you rent, that you own, it's only one airdrop point. And then for holding DEC tokens, you get one airdrop per DEC. You can also earn double airdrop points if you put your DEC in liquidity pools. If you also own, you know, you have some freed up SPS or BNB that you can use on some of these exchanges, but that's a little more complicated and you'd have to own other crypto anyways for that. Bulldog has a great video on his channel about liquidity pools if you want to watch that. But my point in today's video is simply collection power versus DEC tokens and how much airdrop points you get out of it. So as soon as I saw that, I thought, what cards am I holding that are worth a lot of money but don't actually have that much card power? So, you know, I started clicking on my cards. Okay, 100 DEC is what the lava launcher is worth. If I go on and sell it, which, you know, DEC has pumped to, you know, about 1.5 cents, you know, if I sell it for $4, you know, then I'm getting, you know, whatever, like 300 something DEC. I'm not going to do the math off the top of my head. So instead of getting 100 DEC airdrop points through owning the card, I can sell it, hold that DEC, and be earning more airdrop points. And Lava Launcher is not even a good example of that. What I'm talking about more so is some of these cards with really high price to them, like I was holding Mylor, and he sold off for $58, almost 4,000 DEC. So if we go over to our handy dandy Splinterlands guides Google Sheet, link in the description and the comments below, here is what I found. Okay, I was holding on to Mylor, as I said, 40 card power. That's it. For this $60 card I bought because I watched a YouTuber and they said, you know, a couple months ago, this card was OP. And so I was like, sweet, it'll be OP. I want to own it so I don't have to rent it. It was only 40 card power, which based on my SPS airdrop estimations, of course, these airdrop points can change around based on how many people have airdrop points and how much percentage you have of those. My estimate right now is for every airdrop point, you're going to get about 0.000 SPS a day. So multiplying that by Mylor holding on to him for 40 airdrop points, he was getting me about 0.005 SPS per day. Okay, even if this airdrop estimate changes, it doesn't change the math that I'm talking about here. Okay, look at this. I sold him for 3,900 DEC, which gets me exactly that, 3,900 DEC airdrop points. And instead, for selling him, I am now earning 0.54 SPS per day in airdrops estimated, which is about 50 cents. Okay, so I can hold on to this $60 card, maybe win a couple more battles here and there, and earn, this abysmal amount of SPS, or I could be making about 50 cents of SPS per day by selling him off and just hodling this DEC. That is about 100 SPS airdrop increase for me. Now, if you don't know this, the SP airdrops are going on a year long. They started in July, and from the date of this video, October 13th, I think there is, let's see, I think I wrote it down, 287 days left of airdrops. Okay? So I'm going to be earning 100 times more SPS airdrops for the next 287 days by selling him off instead of keeping this overpriced card. Now, of course, your argument could be, okay, well, if you sell him off, now you're going to have to go and rent him, which in my opinion, Mylor is actually overrated, and I don't think I'm going to rent him. But let's say you wanted to sell off one of your cards that you owned, and now you want to still play with them, you're going to have to go rent them, right? For Mylor, it is 13 DEC a day to rent. If I'm renting him each day to win battles, that's going to take out of my profit 13 DEC a day. Understand this though, it would take 303 days of me renting him for me to lose the profit of selling him off, okay? So basically, I could rent him for the entire airdrop and I'll spend about 4,000 DEC. But if I'm doing that now for the next 287 days, that's where I'm getting the 0.5 SPS per day, where if I hold on to him and save the 13 DEC a day, then I only get the 0.005 SPS per day. Now, I've done this calculations with a few other cards. Furious Chicken, I'm making 35 more times SPS by selling this card for the 2,000 DEC than I was holding on to Furious Chicken for the 60 card power, and he was like a $30 card. Now, what about some cheaper cards? Okay, Sea Monster, not as expensive, only got 345 DEC for selling him, but still, 23 SPS X times amount. Creeping Ooze, 30 times the amount, and Creeping Ooze sometimes is only 0.1 DEC a day to rent. Sea Monster, 0.18 DEC. It would take me 2,000 days of renting him out to equal the amount I would have to spend to rent him. It would take years and years of renting to, lose the amount of DEC that I'm selling him off for. Gelatinous Cubes, only 12x times because, again, he was only 177 DEC for selling off. And then even worse SPS X multiplier for Barking Spider at a 37.7 DEC selling. So some of the cheaper cards that, you can go on here. I'm keeping a lot of my cheaper cards, a lot of the new rental cards that I'm owning. I'm still keeping around because I think they'll appreciate in value, and it's not really a huge SPS bonus to sell them off maybe at 2 to 3 times airdrop points. But for me to go and sell in all these, 15-cent cards, I'm not doing that. What I am doing is selling those really high-priced cards that only had a low card power amount. So you can see I sold off about 10 to 15 cards, and even just the example of, 6 cards, my card power and airdrop points from it were 155, and the DEC I got off of selling them were 7,000. Meaning, I'm not even calculating my whole cards that I've sold so far, but I'm already making 202 SPX multiplier on my airdrop per day. And so instead of getting the measly, 0.1 or 0.2 SPS, you can see my last airdrop was 2.073 SPS. This means that if I keep doing this, if I keep claiming that high SPS amount by holding on to this large amount of DEC, and I keep claiming the stake as well, I might get close enough to have enough SPS to earn one of these voucher tokens over the presale. For a beginner player like me who doesn't have much SPS to begin with, that is big deal to me because you want to get into these presales for those airdrops. Now, not only that, but I feel like I can find better cards to rent that's going to give me enough power to win in silver and also get me more card power than renting Mylor to get into that silver 15,000 power limit that I need to get to. So to me, selling these cards and renting different ones totally seems worth it. There's lots of pros in my mind as I'm thinking about this. Now, this strategy might not be for everyone. So let me give some cons as I've thought through this, and maybe you guys can think of more in the comments, because right now I'm struggling to think of reasons to hold on to these cards that are high priced and have low card power. But some cons that I do want you to be aware of, because if it goes wrong, I don't want you to come back and blame me and say, Luke, what are you talking about? What are you doing? Why did you lead me down this path? So a couple cons that I have been able to think of is, well, maybe you want to hold on to your cards because you believe they will go up in value. And maybe what happens as you're holding on to all this DEC, dark energy crystal price goes down. Now, in my mind, dark energy crystals, SPS, and card values will follow a similar trend. Now, there might be cards that differentiate and maybe SPS pumps here and dark energy crystals pumps here or dumps here. But overall, I feel like the game is going to trend in one direction or another. So to me, holding on to DEC versus holding on to cards for the, next value, at least while the airdrops are going on for the next 287 days, to me, it's not a huge risk, but to you, it might be. You might be like, well, I think these cards are worth more than just getting the SPS tokens. I think they'll appreciate a lot more than SPS and DEC. If that is your theory, if that is your prediction, great, then I wouldn't recommend selling those cards off. Again, another con to it is you're gonna have to rent those cards back if you want to continue to play with them. Again, I don't think it's that big of a deal because you'd have to rent them many, many days to lose that amount of profit, and you're going to be making way more SPS and airdrops anyways. Because of those cons though, I tried to think of, are there cards that are still worth buying if you want to hold cards instead of holding on to DEC? So I started thinking about, okay, what kind of cards have a fair price to card power? So the DEC and card power will be somewhat similar. So I tried the new reward cards, like a Venari Heatsmith is one of the cheapest cards right now. It only gives you 5 card power, so a measly 0.0007 SPS airdrop points, or SPS per day is what you're going to get from your airdrop estimated. And you only can really sell it right now for 11 DEC. So really, the amount of SPS droppings that you're going to get is only multiplied by 2, really. Then I wanted to test it with a legendary card, so I went to Zalron Efreet. And he has at least, it's an expensive card, but 1,500 card power. So that's at least adding to your collection. Whereas, you can pretty much spend that same amount of money buying Mylor, and Mylor as a summoner is only going to give you 40 card power. So if you sell Zalron Efreet, you're only going to get a 3 times SPS airdrop points. So something like a legendary card with high card power and a slightly lower cost than some of the other legendaries might be worth holding on to. Then I tested with gold cards, same thing. The new reward cards only give you 125 power, but you can only sell them for right now about 300 DEC. So again, not a huge difference in airdrop points. Same thing with the common gold cards, the Phantasm. Here I calculated 500 gold power. And if you can only sell it for 1,000, that's only going to give you twice the amount of airdrop points. And you're going to have to rent it for 4 DEC a day if you want it back. So let me know in the comments what you think about this strategy. Maybe I'm missing something, because I'm honestly sitting here scratching my head thinking, why do I want to hold on to cards right now when it seems like DEC and SPS is so valuable with this airdrop? Again, for only the next 287 days, but that's a long time. And especially with Splinterlands saying, hey, staking SPS is going to be important. We're already seeing that importance with the vouchers coming up in this presale. And they're saying we're going to continue to do things like this for those that have SPS stake. There's going to be rewards. There's going to be benefits to it. So while this airdrop is going on, I'm really having a hard time thinking why would I buy cards when I can just rent them, hold the DEC, and be earning so much more SPS than I would be if I I had bought those cards. Again, I'm willing to be wrong, so fight me in the comments. Tell me if I'm missing something. Tell me if your strategy is different than mine and why you're doing it. Again, we don't all have to agree. There are different theories, whether you think, card value or DEC value or SPS, which one is more valuable to you. And based on that, that's what you should be making your decisions on. For me, SPS seems valuable enough that I want to gain more as a new player. And so this is the strategy I'm implementing for now. Maybe it'll change in later videos. But for now, I wanted to get this video out to let you guys know about this strategy and to see what you guys think. So let's talk in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video.